Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick look at my plywood plank floors that I made. I've had these down for about a year and a half, and so far I haven't had any problems with them. They're just made with unsanded plywood. I had used about 30 sheets that I got at Home Depot. I had the guy at Home Depot cut me the sheets into 6-inch planks. He charged 6 cents a cut for that. You get like the first 5 cuts for free, and then he charges 6 cents a piece after. One thing I will say is that he kind of was not happy about having to do the cuts and got a little bit sloppy with them. Some of them are tapered down on one end because he was lifting the boards up. I made it work in spite of that, but there are some spots on my floor that have gaps where I just filled it in with polyurethane. Made several attempts at this before I actually got it down to this color. First time I did the kitchen, I used 8 inches wide instead of, this is a 6-inch, but the first time I did it, I used 8-inch planks, 8-inch wide planks, and I stained them white, and I polyurethaned them using a high gloss, and I got the kitchen done that way, and it looked horrible. Tore them up, flipped them over, stained them black, and then polyurethaned them with that same high gloss. That looked horrible. Tore those all out, went back to Home Depot, got all of this wood, 30 sheets, had them cut into 6-inch planks, and like I said, he didn't do the best job, but it's good enough. Then I went with a golden oak stain because that unsanded plywood kind of has a yellowish tinge to it anyway. So when I put that golden oak stain on there, it just kind of blended right in. Lots of knots in this plywood, which is fine. Some of them are flush, you know, they're completely flat to begin with. Some of them weren't completely flat. Like this one here was kind of gouged out, but after filling it with the polyurethane, it's completely flat anyway. So lots of knots on the floor. I was kind of going for a rustic look. We kind of live in, you know, we live in the city, but this is kind of like it's almost like a little cabin house. So it is kind of a, you know, it's a golden color. It kind of looks darker on this video than what it looks like when you're in here. I was able to do the whole house for $600. I used little nails. I just went right to the top of the wood. The nails are so small that you can't even really see them. Here's one here. They're really tiny. I've never had a problem with the nails popping up. I mean, maybe in the year and a half, I probably maybe only had 3 or 4 of them that popped up. And they don't pop all the way out. Just enough to where if you're walking across it with bare feet, you can feel it. Real easy to mop. You know, usually I just kind of get like a wet washcloth or a wet rag and just clean it up. It's real easy and fast to clean up. I use the not glossy finish. That looks much better than that super gloss did for the polyurethane. So I'm just going to give you a good quick look here. Here's the kitchen. It's dark back there. You can't really see it. So the only trouble that I really had at all with this and doing it, well, first of all, I was doing it by myself with no help, you know, while also working a full-time job. So every night it was, you know, move all the furniture over to one side, nail everything down, keep the animals off of it, keep, you know, all the pet hair and the dust off of it while staining it and polyurethaning it, doing a section at a time, and then also being able to live in the same space. That was kind of hard. Probably took about a month total doing that. And also the only kind of saw I had was a jigsaw, and I'm kind of afraid of power saws anyway. I'll use like a Sawzall or a jigsaw, but I won't use like a regular saw. So like on some of the corners, like my cutting isn't the best. So here's out by the front door. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Here's a closet, and I just went right into the closet with it. And I got lucky because I was able to, the floor is continuous throughout the whole house. And, you know, I've had people in here and they kind of didn't believe me when I told them that I did this myself. They thought I had someone come in and do it. So that was kind of a nice compliment for me. Okay, so for example, now some of these I was just kind of getting sloppy. Most of them are better than this, and I did a better job. But like this one's one where I just got, you know, after a while I just didn't care so much. So when I went around the corner here, you can see You know, it looks bigger on the video than what it looks like when you're in here, but I didn't cut the boards exactly right. I wasn't measuring it. I was just kind of eyeballing it. So that doesn't look so hot, but you know, it's okay for me. Here's another bedroom here, or the first bedroom, I should say. And I do have rugs down. That's just because it's cold out. That's not hiding anything. The floors are all the same over in the corner there. We still got some work going on in here in painting, so excuse any mess that you might see. I'm trying not to show it. Here's the other bedroom. So you can see around the piece of carpeting I have laid down. Okay, just more of the same floor. And the weather's getting cold, so we have throw rugs down. And then I also used it in the bathroom. You know, the whole house is only probably 700 square feet. So I thought one floor throughout the whole house would be nice. Here's the bathroom. I did put an extra layer of polyurethane in the bathroom just because it gets wet when we step out of the bathtub. That looks real nice. I like it. More knots in the floor. So like I said, I was kind of going for a rustic look. Wanted it to look like, you know, I'm trying to get like a cabin look in here. The house kind of is like a little cabin. It's kind of all one big room, and then we have two very, very small bedrooms. One of them, the bedrooms, we just use for storage. So that's what it looks like. It looks more darker brown on the video than it does when you're in here. It looks more of a golden brown when you're in here. So there it is. I hope you like it.